Now to that mass exodus as Hurricane Milton is barreling toward Florida's Gulf Coast right now. It is the second major storm to hit the disaster-weary state in less than 2 weeks. On the left of your screen, video of the backup yesterday in the Tampa area as people were packing up in their cars, trying to get to safer areas. And on the right is a live look this morning at Naples on the west side of the state, where there are curfews in place and mandatory evacuations.
That storm weakened to a Category 4 storm overnight, but is expected to strengthen again to a Category 5 today. Now, those staying behind are scrambling to find supplies. Evident from these bare shelves. Just take a look in Tampa. Now to team coverage with meteorologist George Waldenberger. And George, this storm exploded in strength, is already the strongest storm to strike anywhere on the planet so far this year. How did it become so strong so quickly?
Well, this all really happened yesterday. And if you're watching us in the morning, we went from a Category 2 to a 3 to a 4 to a 5. All in the morning. This is a satellite look on your screen to the left of me. You can clearly see the eye forming and a very textbook-like structure. And these storms rapidly intensify when they have very warm waters. The water temperatures underneath this upper 80s to near 90 degrees in the western Gulf. And then when the jet stream energy is separated away, basically when these things are left under very calm conditions otherwise, then they can organize on their own and create these massive systems. The criteria for rapid intensification is something like 35-mile-per-hour increase in winds in 24 hours. We gained like 90 or more with this storm system, depending on the 24-hour time scale you use. So quite a powerful system.
All right, just incredible. And George, in the Tampa area, the mayor issued a very dark warning for anyone staying behind in the evacuation zones. I have some relatives who are there. They just could not get out. They're telling them if anybody does stay, they will die if they do not leave. That is really tough to hear. So what is the biggest threat in storms just like this one?
Well, these evacuations are meant for the coastal areas. So this is the initial risk as the Hurricane Milton makes its landfall tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Storm surge, rising coastal waters. So what they're essentially doing, taking people near the coast, right along the coast in that storm surge zone, and just trying to get them inland. Inland, but still in Florida, is a lot better than right along the coast where there's rising coastal waters can inundate and really take them away, sweep them away. It can be very deadly.
And finally, George, where is the storm right now?
The storm is over or just to the north of the Yucatan Peninsula, so it's still over the Gulf of Mexico. You can see it there, and if you look closely, the eye over the last 24 hours kind of disappears. That goes along with the quote-unquote weakening from a Category 5 to a Category 4. What is likely happening here is that the eye wall is rebuilding itself. We call this an eye wall replacement cycle. Essentially, the hurricane gets so strong it can't get any stronger, so it does the next thing. It tries to grow, but it needs another eye, a larger eye to do that. So it grows an outer eye around the inner eye, and this allows the hurricane to get bigger. That's the case right now, but you can see in our storm track, it's expected to re-intensify to a Category 5. But then with additional impacts, including some dry air in its future, it could weaken back to a Category 3. But that's still a major hurricane before tomorrow night, Thursday morning's landfall on the west coast. Steve?
Yeah, just very powerful. And breaking from the live desk, George, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis issuing a brand new warning in the past hour, telling people who live in his state this storm will have really significant impacts. Back to this live picture out of Naples this morning. You can see some rain already hitting the lens there as some of those waves move in near the dock. So Milton's outer bands will start lashing Florida's west coast by tomorrow morning.
Hurricane Milton downgraded to a Category 4 storm as it takes aim at Florida's west coast.
Steve is tracking the preparations, the impact from the live desk, what we're expecting over the next couple of hours. So what are you seeing right now?
This is such a powerful storm, and it poses a massive and historic threat. I want to take you back to this live picture that we've been watching as Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida holds a press conference. He is urging people to evacuate certain areas of Florida and really prepare for this storm. The hurricane expected to make landfall near Tampa Bay as a Category 3 storm tomorrow night, possibly early Thursday morning. This new video shows hurricane hunters flying into the center of Milton. Look at the cloud formations here. Just incredible. Monitoring that historically rapid growth of the storm. Forecasters say up to 15 feet of storm surge is possible in areas that are still recovering from Hurricane Helene from just a couple weeks ago. Tampa's mayor says Helene was mostly a water event for her city, but Milton will be wind, water, storm surge, and rain all combined. Schools in at least 20 counties already closed today. Many more are going to be following suit tomorrow. So the storm already making impacts on air travel in a very big way this morning. Airports in Tampa, Sarasota, and Orlando, among others, all shutting down by tomorrow morning. Major airlines also preparing for the storm's impact by issuing travel alerts. They're also informing passengers how to change and reschedule their travel if it is affected by Milton. I want to give you this live look at SeaTac Airport here locally this morning. That departures drop-off area getting a little bit busier as we begin this 5 o'clock hour. Just check the numbers according to FlightAware. Out of the nearly 700 flights canceled across the country this morning, only 6 are out of SeaTac. 28 other flights here have been delayed. Certainly those numbers will change as more and more of these airports start to close. And again, that process is expected to happen later on today. And it's not just air travel, it's also road travel with huge backups on some of those highways in Florida that have been stretching for miles as that storm continues to approach.
All right, Steve, thank you. And we want to continue our team coverage this morning with meteorologist George Waldenberger. We have the benefit of the fact that you just joined us from Florida. You know how dangerous these storms can be. So talk about the path of the storm, what we expect when it's going to make landfall.
Well, first off, every hurricane is different, okay? They all come with multiple hazards. And this particular storm is a major hurricane. It explosively intensified yesterday to a Category 5. It is expected to weaken some, but still be a major hurricane upon moving into the west coast of Florida, so maybe around the Tampa area, maybe just south of that. And that would be Wednesday night, so tomorrow night through Thursday morning. And we'll be watching the storm surge, the flooding threat inland, and damaging wind footprint with this as well.
And George, Florida is still trying to recover from Helene. What would you say is the most dangerous part of Milton, this current storm?
So initially it's going to be the storm surge. That's why you're hearing about evacuations. They're essentially evacuating people that live along the west coast right along the water, okay? Because storm surge is rising coastal water. The winds drive the water up against the coast, and a possibility of 15 feet of storm surge. So that would be 15-foot high waters. You add that to high tide, so that can come in and completely inundate neighborhoods and carry homes away, and of course the people in those homes. So the most important thing right off the bat is to get those people off the coast, especially in and around the Tampa area and just to the south of that.
All right, terrible timing, but hopefully people are heeding those warnings.
Look at this incredible new view we're getting of the storm's eye this morning from the International Space Station. NASA releasing this footage as the storm packs sustained winds of up to 160 miles per hour. ABC News has determined Milton became the strongest hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, both by wind and pressure, in nearly 2 decades. Forecasters say up to 15 feet of storm surge is possible in areas that are still recovering from Hurricane Helene from a couple weeks ago.
And breaking now, 80 members of the Washington State Task Force 1 FEMA Urban Search and Rescue Team. They have been deployed and are now bracing for Hurricane Milton. First responders say they are ready to respond wherever they're needed.
As the hurricane passes, we'll be able to then get down in there. We don't move to the bullseye area till after it's already done.
The team will arrive in Georgia, and then they'll be sent to Florida or South Carolina. A 4-person canine search and rescue team is also going with that team. The entire team will be deployed for up to 14 days.